Jen. In my years as a citizen journalist, I've picked up a few skills that I'd like to now share with you. We've already looked at how to record and edit a news video using screen capture, so now let's add some titles to our news video. Let's leave the virtual world and go to the real world to get started. Once you've completed editing, you can continue by adding some titling, which you will find under annotations. Here we have some options. You can add arrows. You can add some frames. You can add some blurs, and this is useful if you want to maintain your anonymity and someone might be able to see something on your screen. For instance, if you have your Twitter page open, you might want to blur out any personal information you have on your Twitter page. These are some fun animated expressions that you can add if you want to keep things a little bit more lighthearted. And some buttons that you can add. The main one that you will probably use is the text. You can use framed text or basic text, and of course once you select the text, you add these to your timeline by dragging them down. And the timeline is layered, so when you place something above another layer on the timeline, it will appear on top of the other layers. And if you were to put something large on top of this layer, if you were to put something large in this layer, you might completely cover this up. If you need to find out what is where, over here there are little eyes, and you can click the eye so that you no longer see that layer. And of course there's also a lock here. You can lock the layers if you want to do a select all, just to keep things simple instead of dragging through and clicking on a lot of clips. You can lock the layers that you don't want to work with and do a select all and work with your layers and then unlock the layer again. Once you have your text on the screen, you can move it around and you can adjust the size if you want. When you're working with a selection, it will be blue here, so you'll know what you're working with. Like any text program, you can select the text and customize the text. You can change the color of the text, and by clicking on call out, you can change the color of the call out, the color of the emphasis for the call out, the outline, the size. You play with that. It's fun. You can change it however you want, but it depends on how professional you want something to look. If you want something to look extremely professional, of course, you probably would not use this call out that says hey, but there are instances when adding some annotation is very helpful. When you are putting together more than one screen capture, you might want to use a transition, fade out, rotate out, fly in, fly out, slide in, out. And you can also apply these to any annotations that you make. So I'll just show you here the fly in, fly out. I'll apply that to our hey, and we'll bring it in our news video. There we go. And it flies in. This bar is the fly in, this bar is the fly out. And you can have it just have a transition on one side and not the other side. There's a lot of customization here you can use. Animations, you can use these if you like. Again, I'm keeping this very basic, so there's probably not a great need for this. Again, you can put too much of this in and your video will look less professional as opposed to more professional. The video FX, one thing that you might need to use from time to time is the clip speed. And of course you can use any of these that you're comfortable with, but sometimes the clip speed, and you don't want to speed up your voice too much or slow down your voice too much, but there are times when you want to make an image stay on the screen longer, and if there's no audio connected to that video, you can make an image stay on the screen longer using clip speed. And in order to separate your audio from your video, you can go to your edit, select, of course, whatever clip you want to separate the audio and video. And if you look at the timeline, separate audio and video will allow you to work separately with your video and your audio. The Audio FX also has clip speed. You can raise volume, lower volume. There are some other features here. You may need to use them, but if you're keeping it very basic, you probably don't need to use these. Cursor FX you may want to use. This is your cursor. This is left click and this is right click. And by moving this cursor highlight to a clip, right here appears my cursor highlight, and I can customize that, make it a different color, make it a different size, make it less opaque, more opaque, and there are a lot of options here. This is if you want to point something out using your cursor. And there's also a left click. It can help direct people through a process. The Media tab is where you will find all of your media, whatever you've recorded on the screen. And you can also import media. You can import still images. You can import audio files. If you want to add music in Camtasia, you can import your music. And there's a lot you can do here, but it's quite simple to use, and you don't have to use all the features. If you're beginning, you want to keep things simple. You don't need to use a lot of features. You might want to just do your screen capture, and typically I would only have one screen capture here. It's just because I'm working on this project that I have several. If I were doing a basic news screen capture, I would only have one piece of media here, and then I would add probably a title at the beginning, depending on how quickly I want to get it out. Timeliness is essential for news. Now, you may do an opinion piece or a deeper research piece that might have longer staying power, but if you're looking at the news of the day, you want to get that out as quickly as possible. That's one great advantage that the alternative media has, is that we have a lot of boots on the ground and we can be quick. Sometimes adding things can be your enemy. It can be the enemy of quickness. And if you spend a lot of time doing this, you get frustrated, you get discouraged, you might not want to keep doing it. So as you begin, you can keep it simple, keep it basic, add a title at the beginning if you want, maybe a little jingle at the beginning, a little bit of music if you have something that's customized that you like, and move through your news items. Maybe put a title at the end, follow me on Twitter, something very basic like that, and then you're ready to share your video. So when you're finished, you've done all your screen recording, your titling, your editing. Click share, and you can share directly to YouTube. I don't recommend that. Personally, I like to keep a local copy of any of my work. So I generally use an export, choose where you want to save it, and it will give you an MP4 as an export. And click export, and you will have your video to upload to Coursey Nation or YouTube or wherever you choose to use it. Thanks for watching this informational piece. We hope you've gained some understanding and feel inspired that you yourself can make a news video. Congratulations. Sometimes adding things can be your enemy. It can be the enemy of quickness. And if you spend a lot of time doing this, you get frustrated, you get discouraged, you might not want to keep doing it. So as you begin, you can keep it simple, keep it basic, add a title at the beginning if you want, maybe put a title at the end, follow me on Twitter, something very basic like that, and then you're ready to share your video. Thanks for watching this informational piece. We hope you've gained some understanding and feel inspired that you yourself can make a news video. Congratulations! Thank you for watching this video. We're delighted you want to become a citizen journalist and hope to be a support to you as you perfect your skills. Watch for more Corsi Nation citizen journalist videos, including creating a news video using PowerPoint, another on finding and using images, as well as finding and adding music to your videos. For Corsi Nation, I'm Jen, bidding you farewell and wishing you great success in your patriot pursuits.